All right, welcome to the day. We got a very different day than yesterday. Yesterday was all about the complexity. This has complexity in it, but not quite the same way. We've got rowing, a row sprint. Now, if you don't have a rower, you can always run, or you can always do what we have here, which is the single arm sumo deadlift high pull, mimicking that rowing portion, get it? And then max set of unbroken handstand push-ups. So the row, you don't really need to scale that in terms of the distance. It's short, so everyone can probably do that distance. But we're looking at a pretty hard sprint, so you're breathing nice and hard once you get off that. And then for the unbroken handstand push-ups, that's something we're gonna have to pull back if we have to. So we can do a pike handstand push-up. We can do a seated press if you have load for that. You can do knees up on a box. You can do a handstand hold. There's a number of things you can do to make this something that you're able to do. But what we're looking to do is basically get a max set of overhead presses of some sort, or overhead stabilize if that's more appropriate for you. So sprint row, so pull, and then you're breathing hard, kick up overhead, hold it, press it, do what you gotta do, and you're gonna do that for 4 rounds. Now, you're gonna have a little bit of recovery time between those, so you do want your total score, but you also don't want to make it so you, total score on the handstand push-ups, but you also don't wanna make it so you go so slow that you're getting just an obscene amount of rest. So we've got 2 scores. One is your total time. The other is the handstand push-up one. I would actually prefer if you took a little bit more rest between rounds and got recovered to where you could smash out those 250 rows. It's kind of this, I don't know, these they play off each other, whether or not you want to go faster or whether you want to go a little bit more rested and do a little bit more volume. It's up to you. I personally would prefer a nice hard sprint. Make sure you have the energy to sprint hard each time, and a decent size set of handstand push-ups. So a little bit less jumping right back on and getting a faster overall time. Usually faster overall time is exactly what we want. Sometimes like this, we don't necessarily want that. But if that's what you want to do as well, you're totally welcome to do that as well. Now with the handstand push-ups, choose a scale that's appropriate to where you get a decent set each time. If you're kicking up and doing 2, that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for, I don't know, 7 to 10 reps of whatever you choose. 5 to 10 reps, maybe something like that. 5 to 20 reps if you're super good. At handstand push-ups. The more the merrier, and worst comes to worst, you choose an easier scale, you just get more reps. No issue there, just a bit more volume. So I prefer easier scale, higher reps than harder scale, lower reps. That's all I'm saying. Partially loaded version is single arm dumbbell sumo deadlift high pull. So it's like, we call this one like the lawnmower because it's like, and that's what we're going for. Just try to keep good mechanics there. Chest is up, back is flat, hips and legs are doing the work, elbows following through after the hips and legs fire. 15 each side, go from there. You can always pull back the loading to make that scale back and easier. The unloaded version, we have lateral deadlift jumps. So lateral deadlift jumps, I'll show this 1 or 2 times just so you can see it right in the beginning of the warm-up. So we have 30 of those, then max set unbroken handstand push-ups. Again, we can always scale that back to a seated press, pike push-up, knee pike push-up, whatever you got in an overhead press. Yeah, that's what we got. Let's jump into the warm-up, and I'll show you what those lateral deadlift jumps look like. All right, so we're gonna have to go over deadlift lateral jumps is the first thing. I said that when we were talking about it in the video. So we're gonna go over a deadlift lateral jump. Essentially what you do is you pick a spot on the ground that you're jumping over sideways, laterally, and then we're going to do a deadlift and a touch the ground. So deadlift, touch, and then when you come out of that, you hop sideways, deadlift, touch, deadlift, touch. And the variation of this would be maybe touching between the legs and going from there, but we want to try to avoid doing a straight up and down kind of here touch. That's a squat. Let's make it more of a deadlift. So hips go back, touch. Now, hamstrings will work, kind of a weird place to jump from. Make sure the back stays pretty. Same way you would on a deadlift, but that's our deadlift lateral jump. Touch, jump, enjoy. Now let's move on to the actual warm-up. We're gonna start it off with a 200-meter run. So if you have the ability to go for 200, go for 200 now. If you don't, just run in place, do 200 steps. And you can hit pause right now and we'll jump back into it when you get back. Okay, now that you're back from your 200-meter run, whatever you're doing, we're gonna do 20 mountain climbers plus 5 inchworms to push-ups. So go down into this push-up position, mountain climber, knee's gonna come up, and foot's gonna touch the ground. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, now we're gonna do 5 inchworm to push-ups. So hands on the ground here, walk it out, get all the way out, push up, walk it back. Let's do 4 more of those. Push up and back. Push up and back. That's 3. Push up and back. That's 4. Push up and back. Whew. Now go for another 200. Go. Now that you're back from that 200, we're gonna do 20 bird peckers and then some candlesticks. So bird pecker is just foot comes up, foot goes down behind. It's 1, switch legs, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, whoa, almost fell over on that one. 19, 20. Now we're gonna do candlesticks. It's a roll on the ground to a stand back up. So what we're looking to do is go down here, roll, come back up, and stand. Now, you can make that harder by putting your feet up in the air, doing a little hold. You can make that easier by just thinking about, we need to be able to get down, try to do somewhat of a roll, turn over, and walk back up. Being able to lie down and get back up, pretty important. So do 5 of those now. What helps with this is shorter femurs. Sorry, shorter shins more than anything else. Shorter shins and ankle mobility. So that was 2. Stay curled into a ball as much as possible. 3. 4. 5. Cool. Now we're gonna go for another 200. Go. And now you're back from that other 200. We're gonna do 20 wide stance floor touches. So wide stance, hips back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. That was hard. Okay, so at 20 wide stance floor touches and 5 wall climbs. Now wall climb, you're gonna walk your hands up a wall. Again, you only go as far as you feel comfortable. So if you don't feel comfortable going all the way up the wall, don't go all the way up the wall. Go part of the way up the wall. If you feel only comfortable doing this, putting your feet on your couch, coming back down, so be it. Just try to do a little bit of a hold at the top. So go here, 1, 2, come back down. Now if you feel comfortable, let's do 5 wall climbs, touching your chest to the ground. Walking your feet up, touch, and then walking your feet back down. 1. Woo! Here we go. 2. 3. 4. These are not easy. Last one. Alrighty, call that a day. Let's move on to the next part of the warm up. So the next little bit is some handstand work. And while it is in this kind of general warm-up section, it's a lot more skill specific to the actual workout. So I'm gonna suggest that you talk to your coach about this, but I'll brief over it so you guys have a general sense of what's going on. You've got 10 to 15 minutes of handstand push-up work. So the first thing we're gonna do is a 20-second on, 10-second off, and then 10 seconds of doing something else, and then 3 negatives for 2 rounds. So you essentially have 30 seconds worth of work, 3 handstand push-up negatives for 2 rounds. So you kick up, you do a 20-second handstand hold. You can always scale that back into something like a wall walk, where we did before, or wall walk hold, or even just a normal plank hold. Ideally, it's in a pike position, so you're up like this. So you're holding for 20 seconds. So once you do your 20-second hold, then after that, you do 10 handstand shoulder taps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then from there, you can go ahead and do 3 slow negatives. So slow negative would be down there, bam, press back up, 2, 3. So you're essentially doing that. 20 seconds, hold, 10 taps, 3 slow negatives. Now if you can do it all up against the wall, badass, good for you. If you have to do it at a pike, that's totally great. If you have to rest between things, it's totally fine as well. So what we're looking for is 20-second hold, 10 taps, 3 negatives, whatever variation of those you're able to do. Do 2 full rounds of that before you move to the next thing. Next thing is 3 to 5 strict handstand push-ups, or something that's harder than what you just did for the negatives. So just the negative is generally working down, but you gotta get back up somehow, so you're probably doing some sort of press, but we want some sort of a difficult press, so a difficult overhead press, whether it's a pike position, or knees up on a box, or knees up against the wall, whatever you gotta do. We want 3 to 5 strict pushes, and then 5 kipping pushes. So if you wanna do a shorter range of motion, do a shorter range of motion. If you wanna put a pad under your head or something like that. Now, kipping is also gonna just mean easier. So if you wanna do 3 to 5 harder and then 5 easier versions, whatever that is for you, do it. So maybe knees up on a box for 3 and then 5 where you're in a pike position if you can't practice the kipping. Now here's the deal with kipping. If you're doing a kipping handstand push-up, you gotta really make sure tension stays in the hands and you never relax the neck. If you end up on your head relaxing your neck, you're just in a non-ideal position for the old cervical spine. Also, if you stop and take tension out of the hands or you slam your head into the ground, just not good position. So make sure that you're maintaining tension in the hands. This is an appropriate movement for you, and that you're maintaining tension in your neck. As silly as that sounds, it's gonna be important for you and your safety. Ideally, like I said, this is this part where you're having a coach watch you and scaling appropriately. So essentially what we're doing for the second half of that, 2 rounds of 3 harder handstand push-ups, 3 to 5, and then 5 slightly easier handstand push-ups, whether it's kipping or whether it's just an easier variation. Good luck, and after that, you're gonna jump into the workout prep and stuff that'll be more specific to the actual workout. Find a coach, get some video on you, get some eyes on you, have some fun.